Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I hope you're all doing very well and having an amazing week so far. So this week I thought I would show you how to do a very simple smoky eye using one palette, because you don't really need any more as long as you've got the right colours. So I thought I'd do this because I know a lot of people do struggle with this, and it's just something that everyone should know, because you can use these techniques to then go ahead and use colour and different things. So if you want to see my tips and tricks on how to create the perfect smoky eye, then just keep on watching. Okay, so to begin with, you'll need a couple of fluffy brushes. So I have 4. I use these for every single one of my looks. You want some that are different shapes. Obviously these are getting a bit old because they're a bit sort of everywhere, but you've got ones that are rounder. This one's really good for the inner corner or outer corner, sorry. You want one that's a bit smaller and one that's a bit flatter. Just some different varieties just to create a different look. If you don't have that, just having one like this, just a simple fluffy brush, is perfect, but have a couple of them just because using different colours. But I will show you how I do use the same one for a couple of colours as well. You'll also need a palette. So I suggest, if you're working and wanting to do like a natural smoky eye and just sort of adding a bit of dimension to your eyes, the Morphe 35W palette is perfect. It has loads of different colours from your lightest all the way to the darkest, just so that you've got like different colours to do different looks with, and they are so easy to blend and definitely good for beginners. So this is a palette that I definitely recommend everyone to have in their collection. So to begin with, you want to sort of, I always have foundation and concealer on my eyes, and then I set it with some powder. I usually use the Charlotte Tilbury powder or some loose setting powder, but as long as it's all set and not sticky, because I prefer to work on a non-sticky base for smoky eyes, because otherwise the colour really sticks. So I'm going to take my biggest sort of fluffy brush, this one here. This is the Morphe, the MAC 217 brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into this palette. And what you want to find is the shade that's like a taupey sort of, I'd say this shade here, this one right here, because it's just sort of brown enough to be noticed, but not too dark that you end up with too much colour in your eye to begin with. It's for everything to go in with. So what you want to do for your transition shade, which this is have a lighter shade that everything else can blend into, so you don't have to worry about having dark edges. So I'm going to take that shade, and you want to just tap off the excess, because you can obviously add more, but you can't take it away once it's on. It's very difficult to do if you are to try and take it off as well. So I'm just going to place the brush on the outer corner of my eye, right here, right into the socket of my eye, and just use windscreen wiper motions to blend it into my eye, and then using circular motions to sort of blend it up. Here, windscreen wiper motions across the eye, and then circular motions up towards the eyebrow. See how it's just barely noticeable, but you can see that it is adding colour on there. Obviously you don't want too much colour. So we're going to do that exact same technique on the other eye, and I always use like a light hand. So you want to hold the brush here, so you've got like, it's quite soft, and if you hold it here, you're going to get a very tough and a lot of colour in one place, because you're going to be pressing so hard. So I hold it here because then I get free reign of the brush, and I'm just lightly putting that colour onto my eyelid. So once you have your transition colour on and where you want it to blend up to, I would then go in with a slightly darker shade. So we use this shade right here. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is like a darker taupey colour. I'm going to take that on a different brush. Now you don't have to do this because obviously the colours are quite similar, so you could take it on the same brush if you wanted to, but I'm going to take it on a different brush. So I'm just going to take some of that colour Oh, and I'm also going to mix it with some of this colour in the middle here. And place it on the same place. And windscreen wiper motions. It's just going to slowly blend into that transition shade. Obviously we don't want it as far up as the transition shade. So say your transition shade has stopped here, just below the eyebrow. You want it to stop just below that, but make sure that the edges are blended out with it. And we're going to use smaller circular motions just in the crease of the eye. And then do the same on the other side. By starting in the same place, you get the same amount of colour payoff here, because you're not, say you started here, you're going to end up getting a lot of colour there. You want the most amount of colour on the outer corner of your eye, which is why I suggest when you first take the colour out the palette, place the brush here and then blend inward. I'm hoping this makes sense. If you do have any other questions about it, say I haven't explained something completely perfect, if you comment them below, I will try and reply to every single one, and maybe I'll do another one of these just to answer some of those questions that I might not have answered for everyone. But hopefully I'm doing okay. Okay, I'm now going to take quite a drastic change, and I'm going to take this shade here. So this is a lot darker than all the other shades, and I'm going to take it on a slightly smaller brush. And all I do is, I haven't shown you this bit, I tap it on. I don't twizzle it around. I tap it and then tap off the excess as much as I can, because I can always build up the colour. As I keep saying, you can always build up the colour, but you can't take it back off. It's very difficult. You don't ruin most of the look. With this colour, I'm going to go more onto the lid as well. So on that outer corner, I'm going to go kind of the outer third of my eye. So the brush is on my eyelid, but on the outer corner here. And then I'm going to sort of dust it on. And then with the rest of the colour, I'm going to just blend that into the crease. And then say you just wanted a bit more of that second shade, just take the brush that had that shade on it and just blend it over. So if you see, there's some colour on my eyelid just to make that corner darker, and then it's blended into the crease. I'm going to take a little bit more and just press it on here, and then blend the rest onto my eye. Now this has taken me ages to practice this and get the techniques that I like, because when I first did a smoky eye, the colour ended up stopping up here, and then I ended up with it halfway down my face, and it just didn't look good. So it's all about practice, especially with makeup. Everything's about practicing. But I always think it's good to watch a video, or just sit down with a mirror and some eyeshadow, and just sort of using some brushes just to use some different techniques. That's how I have done most of mine. I sit down and I test out different colours and different techniques that I want to tell you guys about, different ways of doing eyeshadow. So this is quite a natural smoky eye. As you can see, it's not so dramatic. This is the sort of thing I used to wear to school. I wasn't meant to, but because I wore or wear glasses, you don't really notice the eyeshadow as much. Obviously, I would not suggest to do that if you are at school and you can't wear eyeshadow. But this is like an everyday look that you could wear on a weekend, and you'll get the technique down quite quickly, to the point where you could probably do it in 10-15 minutes and head out the door. So I'm not really liking the way this is blending out at the top, so I'm just going to take the second brush that I used, and we're just going to blend all those colours together. There we are. So it's a very natural look at the moment. Okay, so the final colour we are going to go in with is this really dark brown down here. Now this one you do definitely want to be careful with. It's the same colour I have in my eyebrows, so it's going to be quite dark. So you're going to tap on the end of the brush and you're going to hold it really loosely again, and we're going to tap off the excess, place it where we placed that last shade on the outer corner, and then just gently bring it along the crease. And then you could also, another way of doing it is to do it more up. I've done it very sort of simple and rounded, because if you go up you need to sort of drag the colour this way, you don't want too much colour, but I just think this is the easiest way of learning, and then you can slowly add different techniques and different shapes. I'm going to take that last shade again. And then I'm going to take that first shade as well, just to blend out the edges. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then if you did want it a little bit darker, I'd be very, 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 very careful. If you go in with the darkest shade, which is black, on that brush, tiny amount on the end. And as you can see, that's got quite, it looks like quite a bit. And we're just gonna buff that onto the outer corner and then blend that in. And then taking that second to last shade, just gonna blend it out. The best way to bring a smoky eye together and make it look completely complete is to add a nice shimmer on the lid. Now there are some amazing shimmers in the 35W palette, but I really wanted to go in with this shade down here. So I'm going to take a flat brush and take that shade and then gently press that on to the lid. And it just sort of completes the look. I'm going to take it on my finger as well. And gives the eye that nice shine. You can also just go in with a very light shade just on the lid, just to finish it off. But this is my favourite way of doing a smoky eye. And it just makes it look very complete and very done and put together. So obviously we still have the bottom lash line to be done, because at the moment it looks very bare and doesn't really match. So to do that, you're going to take that lightest shade on that brush that we used to begin with, and it's sort of like square and flat, so we're going to go around the under part of the eye. A smoky eye is one of those looks that doesn't look complete until you've got some either eyelashes or some mascara on. That's what I think. I don't think just having bare lashes makes it look that good. Okay, so we're then going to take a smaller brush and that second and third colour, so these two here, and just place that on top of that other colour and blend out, especially this corner here, because you don't want it to be separated from the bottom lash line, so you kind of want to blend into that corner. And then we're going to take that colour that we used for the darker colours, and we're going to take this shade here, and I'm just going to focus that especially on this outer third, because you want it to blend with the dark shades but you don't want it to make your eyes look small. So I suggest just doing it on this part of the eye, to blend in with that corner. And then the same on this side. Like so, and then taking that second darkest shade, the same shade that I have in my eyebrows, and doing the same again. And doing it on the other side as well. And then the last step would be to put the black on the very outer corner, just to blend it all together, but the tiniest amount right there. See how the top and bottom just blend together, and then blend out the bottom lash line just to smoke it out a little bit. You get some very attractive looks when you do smoky eyes. It's a bit like when you do lipstick and mascara. There we go. So that is a smoky eye in about 4 simple steps, I think, or 4 or 5. So I'm now going to go off camera and finish off my eye look and my lips, and then I'll be back to finish this video. Okay guys, so that is my tips and tricks for how to do a smoky eye. I have finished it off, as I said, with some mascara and a nice lipstick. Adding mascara to this look just completes it, just finishes it off. It gives it that kind of cat eye effect, and I absolutely love it. So I love to do a smoky eye when I'm not really in the mood to do a bright colourful eye, and if I'm wearing just black like I am today. So I hope you enjoyed it and got some ideas. As I said, don't forget to comment some of your questions down below, and any other makeup hacks and makeup ideas that you want to see a video on, or any other how-tos. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you and if you enjoyed it, or if you just sat and just wanted to watch for no reason like I do sometimes, that's absolutely fine. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my uploads. I upload hopefully twice a week, but at least on a Sunday at 7 PM, and it's really fun. I do enjoy it a lot. So I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.